Hi, everyone. My name is Maria Picone, and I'm the co-founder and CEO of a digital health analytics startup called Trend Community. Trend was inspired by my family's personal journey living with rare disease. After my daughter was born with a rare genetic disorder called Prader-Willi syndrome, like many people faced with a rare disease diagnosis, I joined a support group of other caregivers on social media. And that's when I realized that the medical literature provided a very limited picture of even the most common rare diseases. Parents in this group were sharing rich details about their daily experiences living with and managing Prader-Willi syndrome. So my husband, Chris, and I, who were working in the health tech space at the time, we wondered if we could create a more complete view of patient experience by using technology to turn the community's conversations into real-world data. So we can't be constrained to looking for answers where we think they should be, and we need to start looking where the answers are likely to be hiding. This type of observational bias is called the streetlight effect, and it refers to an old joke. One night, a policeman found a man searching for his keys under a streetlight. He joined to help, only to realize after hours of searching that the man had lost his keys in the park. "Then why are you searching here?" asked the policeman. "Because this is where the light is," replied the man. Noam Chomsky once said, "Science is a bit like the joke about the drunk who's looking under a lamppost for a key that he's lost on the other side of the street, because that's where the light is. It has no other choice." Trend's bold vision is to turn more lights on and revolutionize the world's understanding of diseases so that we can find treatments and cures for every single one. The last year, Trend applied to the Mass Challenge Health Tech Startup Accelerator Program, which is designed to accelerate high-impact digital health startups by forming partnerships with industry-leading champions. Of the nearly 400 startups that applied, Takeda invited 11 to pitch. We presented our novel approach to patient engagement, and Takeda offered us a 6-month partnership to identify and launch a pilot initiative through the Mass Challenge Health Tech program. Takeda embraces this idea of the patient voice playing a major role in drug development, and our partnership was aimed at integrating the collective community voice in a way that can have a real impact on outcomes. So there are more than 7,000 known rare diseases affecting 400 million people worldwide. Innovations in technology combined with regulatory incentives, including financial benefits, expedited approvals, and less stringent clinical data requirements, they're accelerating the pace of medical product development to bring therapeutics and medical devices to the patients who need them faster. But unfortunately, these innovations are limited to finding treatments for diseases where the natural history is well understood. And this is reflected in the fact that 95% of those 7,000 plus rare diseases have no approved treatments. But with the orphan drug market positioned to grow at twice the rate as non-orphan drugs in the years to come, there is tremendous hope on the future. But now disease understanding is quickly becoming the bottleneck. Well, it turns out that there are also more than 7,000 rare disease-specific groups on Facebook alone. My guess is that nearly every single known rare disease has at least a small digital footprint, whether it's Facebook or Reddit or Twitter. So Trend partners with the group administrators of these disease-specific closed groups, like that one that I joined after my daughter was born, and were granted permissioned access to analyze the anonymized conversations. We've developed an ethical framework for establishing and maintaining these partnerships while also protecting the privacy of all community members. Then using advanced analytics and a proprietary lexical knowledge base, Trend turns the conversations into real-world data that can help researchers and regulators reimagine rare diseases. Our flagship product, the Community Voice Report, maps the information about a specific disease on social media and helps us understand its impact on daily life in the community's own words. By further exploring these data, we can shine light on what matters most to those living with rare disease. These are a few examples of the insights that Trend data have uncovered. For Prader-Willi syndrome, Trend data helped community members to realize that their children might be experiencing symptoms similar to narcolepsy and cataplexy, not just faking falling asleep. This ultimately led to a clinical trial to test a drug approved for the treatment of narcolepsy as a potential treatment for excessive daytime sleepiness associated with Prader-Willi syndrome. Trend data also revealed that pain was the most talked about burden of Friedreich's ataxia, and demonstrated the need in the non-functioning pituitary tumor community for a therapeutic alternative to surgery. And finally, our work in COVID-19 highlighted the future possibility to understand natural history from a longitudinal analysis of patient and caregiver conversations. In collaboration with Takeda's Digital Advisory Board, we've been exploring the potential of using Trend's analytics engine to continue to make novel discoveries from patient voice data in rare disease-focused areas. With an ambitious goal to identify one use case and launch a pilot before the end of the 6-month program, in less than 2 months, we conducted more than 20 interviews with stakeholders spanning the drug development continuum from R&D all the way to market launch. And we learned that there are opportunities for social media insights to have a positive impact at every single stage. In early drug discovery, our approach can open the door for early patient engagement and enable access to those 3,500 communities that are not yet formally organized. At the preclinical stage, social listening creates opportunities to start patient journey work earlier. There are lots of opportunities to reduce costs and time in phases 1 through 3 of clinical development. And this can be a powerful tool for patient advocacy to build strong and trusted community partnerships. Trend reports meet regulator demands for patient voice data and real-world evidence of what matters most to patients. And most importantly, they give all disease communities a voice. And finally, post-launch, we can continue to understand how people talk about their disease in their own words and use this information to improve our community-facing messaging. We can learn what the community is saying about the sponsor's product and continuously discover the evolving needs of the community. So as you can see, real-world insights from communities living with rare diseases can shift the paradigm. By partnering with groups engaged on social media, we can connect earlier, enable access to those disease communities that have not yet formally organized. By doing so, we can open the bottleneck and reduce time and cost, bringing more treatments to the patients who need them faster. If this MASH Challenge health tech program is any indication, industry and startup partnerships can truly drive innovation. Business units within large pharma often operate in silos. This partnership is fostering community-wide collaboration, bringing together stakeholders operating at different stages of drug development to brainstorm how the collective patient voice can help multiple initiatives meet their goals. From compliance to procurement, resource sourcing, working with a big pharma company can be cost and time prohibitive for a small startup like Trend. This partnership highlighted the potential for short and intensive collaboration to enable a viable pathway for innovative startups to become a trusted and valuable pharmaceutical vendor. Startups by nature are agile, and we have the flexibility to experiment with new technology. Startup industry partnerships can be a powerful tool that enables industry to break outside the box of tradition, and the MASH Challenge Health Tech program gave Takeda stakeholders this opportunity to try a new approach and to consider alternative sources for patient experience data.
Hello, everyone. My name is Thomas Kluz, and I'm an investment partner at Takeda Digital Ventures. Takeda Digital Ventures is one of 2 venture funds sponsored by Takeda Pharmaceuticals. Many of you may know Takeda Ventures, which is our sister fund. Their focus is on investing in novel therapeutics and drugs, whereas Takeda Digital Ventures is focused on investing in companies that are aiding Takeda's journey of digital transformation. When we think about our investment landscape and the investment decisions we make that are sponsored by Takeda's balance sheet, we make sure that the patient is at the center of everything we do. This not only differentiates us from the other pharma VCs, but it also gives us unique insights into all aspects of patient-level care, which in our mind is where the rubber meets the road. As we evaluate the investment opportunities, we are laser focused on 3 things. Number 1, what's best for the patient? Number 2, what delivers strategic value back to Takeda? And number 3, what generates investment returns? All 3 of these items lay the groundwork for our investment thesis. In addition to patients being our North Star, we believe that our affiliation with Takeda, one of the largest pharma companies in the world, is our greatest asset when it comes to adding value to our investment prospects, co-investors, and portfolio companies. We segment our value proposition into 4 key areas. Number 1 is Takeda's therapeutic area of excellence or expertise. Given Takeda's commercial and R&D therapeutics in oncology, GI, rare disease, neurology, and vaccines, we are confident that we bring firsthand knowledge of unmet needs and pain points associated with treating patients in these areas. Number two, specialized pharma value chain diligence. Given Takeda's scale in the market, we believe that this serves as a microcosm for testing out claims across the entire pharma value chain. This includes reimbursement implications, patient engagement, and data sharing connectivity implications. Our third value prop is our privileged access to Takeda's commercial via the DAB, or the Digital Advisory Board. The Digital Advisory Board is an amalgamation of stakeholders and business unit leaders throughout Takeda who are spearheading digital health transformation through partnerships and collaborations. Given our direct access to the DAB, we have privileged access to key members for diligence and portfolio coverage purposes. Last but not least is Takeda's global access. Takeda is a global company with facilities and capabilities across the entire globe that can help existing companies as well as investment prospects. Given Takeda's brand recognition and association with a top 10 pharma company, we are also able to open doors at other pharma and life science companies. Speaking of global footprint, our investment thesis corresponds closely with this. While our investment focus is primarily on companies in North America and Western Europe, we will pursue deals in China, Japan, and Eastern Europe, but on an opportunistic basis alongside investors we know and trust. As far as our investment strategy is concerned, we're comfortable leading, co-leading, or being part of a syndicate. We have no condition to the context of our participation. However, we do prefer board seats. Director or observer is fine. This gives us the ability to roll up our sleeves and add some operational horsepower as active investors in the companies we invest in. In terms of the companies in our deal flow, we tend to abide by a no stone left unturned model, as evidenced by the 800 plus deals we have seen over the last 18 months. We like to see a lot of deals. Regardless of whether we invest in the company or not, some of these pipeline opportunities result in valuable touch points for both the company and or for Takeda counterparts. As mentioned before, the therapeutic areas listed here, neuro, oncology, GI, and rare disease, serve as our guiding light, but we are also looking for great investments in functional areas such as monitoring of disease, healthcare marketplaces, clinical workflows, and patient adherence. This is another view of our pipeline opportunities. Given our commitment to digital transformation, we like to stay on top of some of the more pertinent technology themes, such as machine learning and AI, more specifically deep learning, as well as themes such as telemedicine, remote monitoring, wearables, cloud services, and AR, VR. How do we find time to review these many deals, take board seats, and create strategic touch points within Takeda? Well, we do so through efficient triage. In fact, most of the companies we review initially result in a quick decline as they do not fit our investment criteria. Less than 1% of our total deal flow actually results in an investment. That being said, our triage funnel enables us to put entrepreneurs first by providing quick feedback while ensuring we do our homework to ensure we are fostering long-lasting relationships with the entrepreneurs we meet. As far as where we meet entrepreneurs or source deals from, most of our deal flow actually comes from our personal and professional networks, which includes our Takeda stakeholders and other venture capital funds. We also source deals proactively through active outreach and through conferences and events. Once we have identified a promising investment candidate, we use a rigorous diligence process framework to identify investment risks that help us contextualize the opportunity from a returns perspective, but more importantly, provide us a game plan for how we plan to engage with the company to address key risks and create de-risking mechanisms so that the business can be successful. Some aspects of the diligence process involve active outreach on the primary and secondary research front, and we typically share our key findings with the businesses we invest in so that we remain transparent, value-added investors. Coupled with our diligence framework, we also engage our Takeda ecosystem during the diligence process. This includes our colleagues in the Digital Advisory Board and business unit leaders throughout Takeda, which help us validate, or quite frankly, invalidate our thinking when it comes to the investment risks we've identified. Again, given Takeda's subject matter expertise on pharma and broader healthcare value chain, we are confident that this ecosystem is our unfair advantage in the market when identifying great investment opportunities and adding company building value back to our portfolio companies. Last but not least, I wanted to close out the presentation by giving you some context for the amazing team I get to work with day in, day out. Our core investment team is very lean with 4 key members, all led by our managing partner, Bruce Meadows. I am an investment partner headquartered in California, but I work across time zones with my colleagues in Europe and the East Coast. We also work with a team of operating partners and advisors who provide us operational horsepower when it comes to evaluating deals and supporting portfolio companies. We also have a board of managers which serve as governance for the fund. This board is comprised of senior leaders within Takeda, including Carl Hick, Takeda's Chief Digital and Information Officer, and Rajiv Venkaya, Takeda's President of the Global Vaccine Global Business Unit. Having these internal leaders as part of our governance enables us to make quick decisions that are serving the needs of our Takeda stakeholders in the most efficacious way possible. Thank you all for watching this presentation. Please make sure to check out Takeda's booth to learn more about Takeda Pharmaceuticals and some of the exciting work we're doing to drive digital health transformation. Thank you.